Issue 21. Upgrade yourself. Physically, we grow because we eat. It is an automatic process that we will continue throughout our lives. In fact, we have little control over it, aside from determining what foods and how much of them we eat. But how do we grow mentally and socially? This is a process that is almost entirely in our own control and will have far-reaching effects on how we live. For the best results, I suggest that you follow as many of these suggestions as you can. Get in the habit of reading. Read the newspaper every day. Spend some of your leisure time reading entertaining novels or even comic books. But don't neglect more serious reading as well. History, biography, poetry, discussions of complex moral or political or scientific issues. The mind needs exercise just as much as the body does. Devote yourself to one or more hobbies. Collect stamps or coins. Develop your skills in photography or cooking. Have fun, but at the same time, your hobbies will keep you engaged with the world while improving your abilities. Work out regularly. Don't neglect your body. It needs to function well for a long time. A half hour a day of vigorous exercise is all it takes, but you may want to do more. Maintain good relationships with others, coworkers, relatives, and others with whom you share a common interest. We are social animals and need to interact with others to be fully human. At the same time, try to put yourself in others' shoes. Listen more than you speak. Stand by those in need. Be honest and just. These are all the qualities that represent the finest human traits, but they do not just happen. They all need constant tending. Don't cave in to peer pressure. If something seems stupid or harmful to you, it probably is. Trust your own judgment and act accordingly. All of these practices may sound easy and even trivial, but in fact, they all require strong determination and regular effort. But you can do it. What does it mean? 1. We are all social animals. 2. An automatic process that will continue throughout our lives. 3. Put yourself in others' shoes. Comprehension. 1. Why is reading important? 2. What value do hobbies have? 3. What are some traits that are among the finest human qualities? Can you think of others not mentioned in the text?
Teen Talk. One. What personal aspects of your own life do you want to upgrade, mentally, physically, or socially? Why are they important to you? 2. Have you ever tried to do something to improve yourself? If so, what did you do? Did you succeed? In your opinion, why or why not? 3. Do you think your grades are satisfactory? What is the most difficult subject for you? Do you know why you have trouble with it? What can you do to make it less difficult? 4. Making friends is one of the most important concerns that teenagers have. What qualities do you look for in deciding to be friends with someone? 5. What kind of friends do your parents want you to have? Is there any disagreement between you and your parents on this issue? 6. If you had a disagreement with your friends or with your parents, how would you resolve it? Do you have any good ideas? 7. Can you define being mature? Do you think you are mature? In what ways do you think you have not yet matured? 8. Do you keep promises to yourself? Do you think it is easy or difficult to do so? Why? Feel free to give some examples. Opinion samples. 1. Maturity is not just based on age, although a lot of legal and social definitions use age as the defining characteristic. To drive a car, get married, vote, drink alcohol, all of these activities are age-based. But I'm sure you know many people who have been adults for decades who still do not seem responsible enough to qualify. You probably know people your own age who seem adult enough to do quite well in those activities or others. So, maturity is more a matter of having good judgment than just having a certain number of years. Questions. 1. What adult functions do you think are mature enough to exercise? 2. Can you think of some other method, other than counting birthdays, that could determine if someone is mature enough to engage in some adult behavior? Share your opinions.
Opinion samples 2. I have many good friends who are very good at keeping their promises to me. If they say they will meet me at a certain time and place, they will be there. If they promise they will do something for me, I can be quite sure that they will do so. But most of them do a better job at keeping their promises to me than to themselves. One friend keeps saying he will study harder, but never does. Another says he will exercise and lose some weight, but his efforts never last more than a week or two before he returns to his bad old habits. Why is it so easy for them to keep their word to me, but so hard for them to be honest with themselves? Maybe it's because they know that they have to work hard to maintain good friendships, but they will always have themselves. Questions. 1. Can you maintain good relationships with people who are not dependable? Why or why not? 2. Why do you think it is easier for most people to honor commitments to others than to themselves?
Dialogue. Do you want to go with me to the store?
Which one?
The new department store. I'd like to look around and see what they have.
Me too. I've been dying to go there since it opened.
Then let's go.
Oh, but I can't.
Why not?
I have too much schoolwork to do. If I go with you, I can't finish it all.
Is this something that just came up suddenly?
No, I had 3 weeks to do it, but I didn't get started until today.
What took you so long?
Well, I had to go to Sue's birthday party, and I didn't feel well last weekend. Things just piled up before I realized it was happening, and now I'm really far behind.
You know what I always say, plan your work and then work your plan. If you had 3 weeks to do this assignment, you could have devoted 15 minutes or a half hour to it every day, and you would have already finished it.
I know, Dad. I just didn't realize how hard it would be to do.
That's another reason to start early. If it's harder than you expect, it's still not too late to revise your plans accordingly.
You're right, of course, but I slipped up this time. Most of the time, though, I think I'm doing better at effective time management.
That makes your life in general a lot easier, don't you think?
It sure does, usually. I wish I had done a better job of it for this assignment.
I've got to go to the department store now because I have some work I need to do this evening. Wish you could go along.
Me too.
Can I get you anything?
Some additional time if you can find any.
I'll see what I can do, but I doubt that the store has any.
Okay. Enjoy yourself.
After I finish tonight, maybe I can help you finish your work.
Questions. 1. What does plan your work and then work your plan mean? 2. How would you grade yourself on time management? Are there any improvements you think you should make? 3. What advice would you give about being able to finish things in a timely manner? Read and discuss. Bulk up those brain muscles. The brain is just like any other muscle. It needs to be exercised or it will become weak, flabby, and useless. But mental exercise does not consist of physical effort. The mind can't lift anything, it can't throw anything, it can't run or jump. But it exercises by reading, writing, thinking, memorizing, solving problems, and, most effectively of all, by imagining. These days, people seem to read much less than their parents did. A lot of learning is visual or auditory, on TV or computer. But we should not neglect reading. This activity forces us to concentrate and to construct abstract relationships, which are at the core of thought. But even actively reading something is passive compared to the act of writing. If we can't describe what we know by writing it down, do we truly know it? And without words, we cannot think at all. Have you ever tried to think by color or shape? Engaging in rote memorization is always hard work, but it forces us to retain large amounts of information. This process of storage helps us develop a strong memory. Problem solving can be as simple and fun as working on a crossword puzzle or similar game, but it provides long-term benefits for our mental capacity. And, finally, the act of imagining is what makes humans unlike other animals. They often use tools and figure out problems connected with comfort and survival, but there is no evidence that they can create a situation that is beyond their present circumstance. By all means, to be as human as possible for as long as possible, engage in imaginative exercise, compose a sonnet, devise a future world of technology. Place yourself mentally in a situation that does not exist. Questions. 1. When was the last time you read a book that was not required for school? What was it about? 2. Have you ever tried to write the lyrics to a song or plot a short story? Were you satisfied with the result? Would you like to try it again? 3. What do you think you will be doing 20 years from now? Answer with as much detail as you can, including your job and family situation.
Pictures Talk. One. Questions. 1. What do you think is the first step in upgrading oneself? 2. What are common obstacles in the path toward self-improvement? 3. How can we get over setbacks in our way to change?
2. Questions. 1. Do you think buying a lot of fashionable new outfits is a good way to upgrade oneself? Why or why not? 2. What about buying the newest electronic gadgets? Is that a good way to upgrade oneself? Why or why not? 3. Which do you think is the most important method of self-improvement, buying material possessions or cultivating character? Explain your answer in some detail. What's your advice? 1. I never pay any attention to my parents anymore. Since they never try to do what they preach to me to do, I think they're hypocritical. So, whatever advice they give just sounds like nagging as far as I'm concerned. But I am also reluctant to take advice from my friends. They don't know any more about life than I do, so how can I trust in their wisdom? I have many issues, but I don't know what to do about them. Does anyone have some advice for me? If I can't rely on my parents or peers, is there anyone else I can turn to?
2. My bad behavior is causing me lots of personal problems, but I can't seem to change. This ranges from not studying hard to not exercising, having a bad diet, and using too many offensive words. Every time I try to make positive adjustments, my resolve disappears after about 3 days. I guess I got into the habit of blaming myself and have thus lost all self-respect. I know I have to develop a new attitude about every aspect of my life, but I don't have any notion about how to do it. I'm willing to listen to any suggestions. If anyone has some good ideas, please let me know.